Hello.
What do you want?
Could you please have the kids not run around above me? I am recording.
All right, what's above you up here?
I'm in the office. So, the bedroom?
They shouldn't be in our bedroom.
Well, they certainly are.
Get out of my bedroom! All right. Sorry, it's absolute chaos up here.
Yes, mission accomplished. Bye. Maybe I'll use that. I don't know. Today is the day. The one I've been waiting for ever since the BMW showed up. May 22nd, Barber Motorsports Park. The day after the Moto America round. Shakedown. Play that bumper. Okay, so that's never a good sign, right? Funny story, there's a fuel leak right in the O-ring of where the fuel line goes in the fuel pump. Didn't see it at the house. Every time I ran it, it was fine. I guess I didn't run it enough. Driving it down to the old tech area. Somebody looks over and says, "Hey man, you're leaking." I look down, I'm like, freaking A, it can't be. Somebody rolled up and said, "Hey man, I like your channel." I don't know who he is. Now he's going to get our TV. The day starts off well. Oh, so things didn't start off very well. Literally, it was an O-ring around the nozzle that connects the fuel line to the fuel tank. So, without further ado, let's fix it and get out on track. Okay, first time on track. Let's get to it. Here we go. What is going? No! The quick shifter. Why is the quick shifter not working? Of all things, this is a stock bike. I didn't do anything. What's going on? Oh, this is gonna be a long day. Okay, no big deal. I've ridden without a quick shifter before. We'll just roll on and off the gas by hand. Downshifting won't be a problem because I've been downshifting with the clutch for years now, so that's not an issue. Upshifting without a quick shifter on a bike with an electronic throttle and a brain of its own, that was problematic. This is why shakedowns are so important. Had multiple startups in the garage, tank was on and off. I never rode it in the neighborhood. In hindsight, maybe I should have done that. So the goals for today. Number one, we want to come back in one piece. I don't normally state that up front, but because I need to race this bike in 4 days, it needs to be back in one piece. Number two goal, I would like to feel the electronics working. Third goal is I want to match my 600 time. That's first call for intermediate. Anyway, yeah, I want to match my 600 times. I think it's very possible. 38.2 is my fastest around here on a 600. So that should be well within reach. It's just getting used to the chassis and how it feels. Yeah, so today it's setting up. It's just getting ready. That's what we're doing. So before this day even started, one of the things I did was I made sure I sought the advice of somebody who's had experience, and maybe a lot more experience than you might think. Introducing Mr. Mike Spike Edwards from the UK. Take it away, Mike.
I've been watching, scrolling through some of your videos and catching up with kind of what you're about and what you're doing and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, I think you're a brave boy doing what you're doing, but hey, you've got to do it, haven't you?
He's right. We're all not normal, you know, like we're out on track. That's not like a normal thing. So we all have to be a little bit crazy.
Talking about what you're going into with the electronic package, the electronics were very basic, really. And in the UK, the majority of riders just turn everything off. Obviously, I deal with probably 80% of my clients are Trackday guys. The last 20% will be a mixture of racers who, from classic right the way through to superbike. So there's a pretty big range within that 20%. And they will start to, as you said, start turning stuff off. And I think a lot of the reason they do it is they don't know enough about it, so it's easier to just go. Because I try and say to people, when you're riding a modern superbike, you have to think digitally, where the analog part of you've got to switch off. And the younger riders who come into it who haven't had to go through the analog period, they're just jumping on, you know, something like this for the first time. They come from like pit bikes and then they jump onto a superbike. And it's fabulous watching them because you tell them to do something and they just do it. And they have absolute faith in what's underneath them. Where me, you, and a lot of other people are having to kind of build up to it.
I think it's overlooked how much a mentor is in the process of trying to improve something like this. Too many times I think we can take snippets of things and use those as cliff points to actually describe a holistic experience that you're going for. Much like in my own Christian walk, a lot of people like to take singular verses and make an entire theology out of them. It doesn't really work. It's called the Bible, not the verse, you know? So you kind of read the whole thing. Anyway, what Spike was talking about here was basically that you can use the electronic in a way that you wouldn't want to use an analog bike. So you have to change how you ride it.
So going back to what I said initially was I dial in a soft setting to people and get them to ride the bike hard so they feel that the bike's holding them back and then basically start coming out of it. Now, initially when I was doing this with no throttle or with plenty of traction on, I could hold the line. But as I was starting to wind this down to a 0 and then started to come into negative, the bike, instead of following its line, was starting to do that a bit more and that a bit more. And that was the problem. It was kind of wanting to do that and I was kind of running out of track.
So going into this lap, I'm trying to actually apply what Spike was talking about here. Trying to get on the throttle more aggressively than I ever thought I would want to on even a 600. So I'm definitely coming into Charlotte's Web, for instance, and braking a little bit hard, waiting for that apex, and then just rolling on the gas and being kind of belligerent about it and going like, well, let's just see what happens. Fortunately, the gearing was kind of long and the tire is big, so it's kind of got a soft power hit anyway. When I go back there, it's going to be interesting to see how this improves when I have the proper gearing on the bike. So here we go. We're coming around the last section of Barber Motorsports Park, and we're going to see how quick we can actually get down to. We've already done a 41.5 on this bike, which is not exactly fast, but it's not slow either. You know, it's something to build off of. Very humble beginning, as it were. Last corner, corner 17. Peel on the throttle in third gear, and we're just gonna hold third gear this entire straightaway. And then brake a little bit early at the foreboard because, you know, the brakes had a bubble in them, but, you know, we won't talk about that one right now. Get on the gas on the exit of turn 1. We're gonna tip it into turn 2. Not too much. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was a little bit. All right. Stay on the gas, stay constant, start peeling on the power, maybe an upshift coming up the hill, okay. Didn't go full stick over top of the hill at turn 4, but that's okay. We're gonna come down to Charlotte's Web, back 1 gear, stay wide, we're gonna wait, it's an early turn in, so it's gonna compromise our exit here, but that's okay, because we're on a leader bike, we can do anything on a leader bike. Power! Upshift! There you go. We're gonna go really fast into museum here. Hopefully we can get it stopped with the air bubble on the brakes, but you know, whatever. And we're gonna bounce off the curb. Whoa, we're gonna get a little wild going a little bit deep in the museum there. It's not exactly comfortable when you do that. It kind of hopped around a little bit. So hit that upshift again. Gonna go left, into this little chicane here. I love this chicane. Oh my gosh, it's so good. If I was actually brave, I'd be peeling the gas a lot harder than I was right here, but whatever, it's where we're at. We're still in third gear. We're going to tip it into turn, I believe that's 12, and this is going to be 13 up and over the hill. Get on the gas. We're kind of mid-track. It's kind of not good because it sets us up poorly for 15 there, and here's 16. We're still wide. Come on, get it to the apex. Get back around. Still wide. Okay, come on. Get it. Hook it back for 17. Hit some apex. Come on, Aaron. For the love of everything, you can hit at least 1 on the exit of your. All right, there we go. Still didn't hit the exit apex on that, but that's fine. Let's see what kind of time we did. It's a 140.8 according to the ITM dash. So you guys, when you buy a bike and then you plan on racing it or doing anything competitive, you need to do a shakedown, okay? Look at that. Kind of weird, okay? Got some big mannequin chick in the water. All right. So yeah, so what did Aaron learn? I learned I have to keep my front wheel spaced correctly for the wheel speed sensor. I learned that the traction control system ties into every system on the bike. I learned that the fuel pump O-ring was dry rotted and cracked. So the first thing I did going to tech was spill fuel onto my belly pan and caused a big fuss, which I then fixed. I learned that BMW electronics work, like holy crap, they get flat out in the way. But I also learned that BMW electronics can really help you. Yeah, I was coming out of, where was it? I don't know, some corner. And this whole time I've been trying to like be easy with the gas because, you know, it's a 1000, right? So be easy with the gas. But interestingly, the electronics on the bike, the actual throttle manipulation part of all that, oh good. I mean, I said it earlier, you can be a Muppet with the throttle, and you can't necessarily not hurt yourself or not screw it up, but if you just do it a little bit correct, it really works well. Like it really works well, okay? The engine is a missile. I don't know, it's somewhere between an R1 and a ZX-10. Like it has that top end just rocket ship type thing going on. And then it also is no slouch coming off a corner. Absolutely not even close. That thing just doesn't care. And it has that beautiful inline 4 soundtrack. Just bah, bah. Love it. There's some quirky things I got to figure out. Like this whole day, I've been fighting a non-working quick shifter, and that's been frustrating. We'll dive into the plugs and the sensors and the clutch purge, because there's some sensors in there that you got to mess around with. We'll dive into all that and we'll figure it out. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you like this content, please hit that like button as always. Lets me know exactly how well this video did in your eyes. And it also helps the YouTube algorithm understand who likes this video. So anyway, check y'all later.